Rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Saviour was born on Christmas Day to save us all.
Old Scrooge sat busy in his counting house, a grim, cheerless place if ever there was one. The door of Scrooge's counting house was open, that he might keep an eye upon his clerk Bob Cratchit, who in a cold and dismal little cell beyond worked at his ledgers.
19, 20, 21, 22. Nothing you dismay. 23, 26, 29, 9 carry the 2. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. 17, 13,
Bob
17.
Cratchit,
Yes, Mr. Scrooge.
stop that infernal caterwauling.
Yes, sir. 9, 15, 17.
Singing their idiotic Christmas carols at my very door. Go on, get away from my door.
Oh, man.
Come on, we're just having a little fun. Where's your Christmas spirit?
Go somewhere else and bellow your blasted carols.
Why, Governor? It's an old custom at Christmas time, you know.
Yes, and I don't want any of your old customs. Take your
Right,
fellow
sir.
fools and go away.
Right, sir.
Christmas, blah.
Merry Christmas anyway, sir.
Ah.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember
Now,
Christ
get
our
that letter
Saviour
from Higgins and Blackthorn Cratchit, and then I want you to finish posting this ledger. After that, you can pop over to Parthergill's and tell Ephraim Parthergill you've come for the 17 shillings and 6 that he's owed me since Michaelmas. And tell him I shall have a constable over there if he doesn't pay up at once.
Mr. Perthagill's wife has been ill, sir.
What do I care about his wife? I want my 17 and 6.
I just thought it being Christmas, sir.
Christmas. You mention that word to me once more, Bob Cratchit, and I'll...
A Merry Christmas, Uncle. A Merry Christmas, Bob.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Fred.
God save you, Uncle.
Bah, humbug.
Christmas a humbug, Uncle? Now, I'm sure you don't mean that.
I mean just that, exactly that. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? What reason have you? You're poor enough.
Well, what right have you to be dismal about Christmas, Uncle? You're rich enough.
Ah, bah.
Now, Uncle, don't be cross.
Well, what else can I be when I live in such a world of fools? What's Christmas to you but a time to be paying bills without money? Merry Christmas. A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer. If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. He should be.
Uncle.
Now, nephew, keep Christmas in your own way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it? But you don't keep it, Uncle.
Well, let me leave it alone then. What do you want? A Christmas gift, I've no doubt?
I came to wish you a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
A Merry Christmas. Much good may Merry Christmas do you. Much good has it ever done you.
Now, there are many things from which I derive good by which I have not profited materially, I dare say, Uncle. Christmas among verest. But I have always thought of Christmas time as a good time, a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good and will do me good. And I say, God bless it.
God bless Christmas. Hurrah!
Let me hear another sound out of you there, Bob Cratchit, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation. As to you, nephew, I wonder you don't go into Parliament. You talk enough nonsense.
Oh, don't be angry, Uncle. I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why can't we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry you feel that way. Well, I tried. Merry Christmas to you, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year, too.
Bah, humbug.
And Merry Christmas to you, Bob, and to the missus, and to Tiny Tim.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Fred. And same to you, sir. Good day, sir.
Good day, Bob.
Nonsense. Twaddle flummery. Talking of Christmas and not 2 sixpence to jingle together in his trousers pocket. Hey, you there, Bob Cratchit. Come here. What are you doing there?
I'm only putting a bit more coal in the fire, Mr. Scrooge, seeing it's so cold in there, sir.
You put that coal back in the scuttle. A fire. A fire indeed. I can tell you if you use coal at that rate, you and I will be parting company, Bob Cratchit. You understand that? There's many a young fella'd like your situation, you know.
I'm sorry, sir. My fingers were getting a little stiff with the cold.
Then put on your mittens. There's someone at the door. Go on and see who it is.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you.
This is the firm of Scrooge and Marley.
Why, yes, sir.
I should like to see the head of the firm, if I may.
Oh, very good, sir.
What is it?
A gentleman to see you, Mr. Scrooge.
Huh?
Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Marley's been dead these 7 years tonight. I'm Scrooge.
Well now, Mr. Scrooge, at this season of the year, it's only fitting that we who are more fortunate should raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. You may not believe it, sir, but many thousands are now in want of common necessities.
Oh.
And hundreds of thousands are in want of life's simplest comforts.
Yeah. Are there no prisons?
Well, there are plenty of prisons, sir.
And the workhouses, they're still in operation, I trust.
I wish I could say they are not, but they are, sir.
The treadmill and the poor law are all in vigor, then?
Both very busy, sir.
I'm glad to hear that. I was afraid from what you said at first that something had occurred to stop them in their usual course.
No, sir. All these institutions that you mention are flourishing. But it's nevertheless true that some additional provision for the poor and destitute must be made.
Oh.
A few of us, upon change, are endeavoring to raise such a fund, you see, and, what shall I put you down for?
Nothing.
Oh, I see. So, you wish to be anonymous, sir?
I wish to be left alone. I don't make merry myself at Christmas time, and I can't afford to help a lot of idle people make merry either. I help to support the establishments that take care of the poor, and they cost plenty. Let those who are badly off go there.
But many can't go there, sir, and many would rather die.
Then my advice to them is to do so and decrease the surplus population. Besides, I've only your word for it that all of this is so.
It's the truth, Mr. Scrooge.
Well, so be it then. It's not my business. It's enough for me to understand his own business and not to interfere with other people's. Mine occupies me constantly. Good afternoon, sir.
I quite understand, Mr. Scrooge. Good afternoon.
Cratchit, show this gentleman out.
Yes, sir. This way, sir, please. Sir, I couldn't help overhearing. I should like to contribute tuppence.
Cratchit,
Yes, sir. It isn't much, but it's all I can afford. There are others in worse situation than I.
My, you're a generous fellow. I wish I might say so of your employer.
Cratchit.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Cratchit.
Merry Christmas.
Cratchit.
Yes, sir.
Close the door.
Yes, sir. $24, $21, $1, carry 3, a new scarlet tippet for Tiny Tim, a comb for Martha, 33, 3, carry the 3, a hair ribbon for Belinda, 4, 7, 12, 15.
Cratchit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's too late to have you go to Parthagil's. It'll be closed up for Christmas like these other fools. We may as well close up this place now, too.
Yes, sir. It is getting a little dark out there. Hard to see the figures.
I suppose you'll want the entire day tomorrow.
If it's quite convenient, sir?
It's not convenient. It's not fair either. But I suppose I can't do anything about it. If I were to stop half a crown of your wages, you'd think yourself ill-used, I'll be bound.
Well, sir,
Yeah, but you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
It's only once a year, sir.
Once a year indeed. A fine excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose there's no good talking. You must have the whole day. Well, see that you're here all the earlier the next morning. You understand?
Oh, I will, sir.
And be sure to stop off at Ephraim and Parthagil's and collect the 17 shillings and 6 before you return home. You can bring it with you the day you return to work.
I will indeed, sir. Good night, sir, and Merry Christmas.
Bah!
Merry Christmas.
Bah!
The office was closed in a twinkling, and Bob Cratchit, with the long ends of his white comforter dangling below his waist, for he boasted no great coat, went down a slide on Cornhill 20 times in honor of its being Christmas Eve, and then, as Scrooge had instructed him, headed over to the home of Ephraim Parthagil.
Just a moment, please. Oh, why, Mr. Cratchit, what a pleasure to see you on this Christmas Eve. Please, come on in, won't you?
Well, good evening, Ephraim. I'm afraid this isn't a social call. It's what you've been led to believe.
I understand completely, Mr. Cratchit. I may be dull, but I'm not outright daft. I certainly know a bill collector when I see one.
Well, forgive me, Ephraim. If it were up to me,
Say no more, Mr. Cratchit. I know the unyielding ways of your stern taskmaster, Mr. Scrooge. It's just that my wife has fallen ill for the past few months, and it has required a considerable care that has left my coffers hollow, I'm afraid.
What you say of my master is true, Ephraim, and yes, as you say, his ways are unyielding, but mine are not to such. Tell me, old friend, have you a 6 on your person?
Yes, but the money I owe your firm is substantially larger than that.
Worry not about it. The 6 is substantial for now. Mr. Scrooge has given me a day off with wages, and I'll make up the rest. Give my warmest regards to your ailing wife.
Bob, I couldn't. I just couldn't do that.
Don't mention it. It's Christmas after all. God bless you and yours, Ephraim.
Cratchit bid his old friend farewell and hurried on home. Scrooge, on the other hand, took his melancholy dinner in his usual melancholy tavern.
Here you are, Mr. Scrooge. Same old minced stew and potatoes for you, like always.
You fathom an alternative form of sustenance for me this evening?
What you eat is your business, though our menu is a bit more extensive than all that.
Yeah, that's right. My business.
But all I'm saying is maybe try the duck sometime, or our boiled chicken. It's being Christmas Eve and all.
You think my stomach shall know the difference what day it is?
Yeah, I suppose not.
Then keep your tap open and your mouth shut. If I had half my wits about me, I'd seek someplace else to eat. Someplace where the meals aren't served with unsolicited advice.
Right then, my apologies. Merry Christmas to you then, sir.
Bah! Humbug!
I'm afraid we stopped serving that, sir. Seemed it caused a bout of indigestion.
Scrooge left the tavern, as he usually did, with the exact cost of his meal and not a penny more. Darkness is cheap, and Scrooge liked it. The yard was so dark that even Scrooge, who knew its every stone, had to grope with his hands through the fog and the frost to find the door. Scrooge walked through his rooms to see that all was right. Sitting room, bedroom, lumber room, all as they should be. Nobody under the table, nobody under the sofa, nobody under the bed, nobody in the closet. He double-locked himself in and took off his cravat, put on his dressing gown and slippers and his nightcap. It was off to bed.
What's that? Someone's in the wine cellar, but the door's locked and double locked. Something is coming. It's coming closer. Outside my door. I don't believe it. It's humbug still.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Marley?
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Marley? No. What do you want with me?
I want much of you, Ebenezer.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
You're very particular for a ghost. All right, then. Who were you?
Oh, in life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Jacob Marley. But you're dead. You died 7 years ago.
7 years ago this very night.
Balderdash.
What's wrong, Ebenezer? Don't you believe me?
I do not.
You doubt your senses, Ebenezer?
Yes, because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheats. You can't be a ghost. You may be a bit of undigested beef or maybe a blot of mustard. There may be more gravy than grave about you, whatever you are. Humbug. I tell you, humbug. I do believe in you. You are a ghost, Jacob.
Thank you.
But why do you walk the earth, Jacob? Why do you come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide to witness what it cannot share, but might have shared on earth and turned to happiness.
But tell me, Jacob, what is that chain you wear around you?
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard by my own free will. Is its pattern strange to you, Ebenezer?
Cash boxes, keys and padlocks, ledgers and purses?
Yours was a heavy and as long as this 7 years ago. And you have labored on it since, Ebenezer.
Oh, Jacob, speak comfort to me, Jacob.
Comfort I have none to give. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger. Weary journeys lie before me.
You travel fast?
Yes, Ebenezer, on the wings of the wind.
7 days, 7 years, Ebenezer. 7 years dead and traveling all the time.
7 years, Ebenezer. 7 years of remorse. Ebenezer, do you know that no space of regret can make amends for one life opportunities misused?
But you were always a good man of business, Jacob.
Our business. Mankind was my business. Charity, mercy, benevolence, they were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of
Jacob,
my business.
Jacob.
Listen to me, Ebenezer.
I listen to you, Jacob. Go on, Jacob. Go on now, but speak to me. Don't be so flowery.
Ebenezer, I'm here to warn you that you have yet a chance of hope of escaping my fate. Did you hear that, Ebenezer?
Yes, Jacob, yes. You were always a good friend to me, Jacob. Thanks, Jacob, but go on. How shall I escape? I'm afraid, Jacob.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the only chance and hope, Jacob?
It is your only chance.
Well, then I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once and have it over, Jacob?
Ebenezer, look, that for your own sake you remember what has passed between us. Remember, when the bell tolls 1, look for the first spirit.
Marley, Jacob Marley.
Scrooge awoke. He was lying on his bed, fully dressed. Suddenly the curtains of his bed were drawn aside, and Scrooge found himself face to face with the unearthly visitor who drew them.
Ebenezer Scrooge!
Who's that?
Ebenezer Scrooge, I've come for you.
You are you the spirit, sir, whose coming was foretold me?
I am that spirit.
What are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
But what do you want of me? What brings you here to haunt me?
Your welfare, Ebenezer Scrooge. Rise and walk with me.
No, not out the window. Well, I can't do that. I'll fall down. I'm not a spirit. I'm mortal. I'll fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand upon your heart, and you shall be upheld, and more than this. Come, follow me.
Rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior.
Where are we? What's become of the city, and there's snow upon the ground? Where are we?
These are the shadows of things that have been. You recognize this countryside?
I know every inch of it, every rock, every tree.
And that bleak building over there?
That building. I was a boy there. Yeah, I went to school in that horrible place.
Do you recollect that path?
I could walk it blindfold.
Strange, you should have forgotten it so many years. Come, let us go closer. Look through the window into that cold, barren room. What do you see, Ebenezer Scrooge?
I see a boy.
A solitary child, neglected by his family. Alone.
Yes, I see. I know that boy. Oh, I was so lonely. Poor boy.
Your lip is trembling, Scrooge. And And what is that on your cheek?
It's nothing, nothing at all. I wish it's too late now.
What's the matter?
Nothing. The waifs came to my door singing Christmas carols last night, and there was a little boy like that among them. A poor, pale, thin little boy in a ragged coat. And I should like to have given him something, that's all.
Is that all? Come, Ebenezer Scrooge. Let us see another Christmas.
Oh, it's a wonderful party. I'm so glad you invited me. This is delicious eggnog.
Do you know this place, Ebenezer Scrooge?
Know it. This is the counting house where I was apprenticed. It's my old master, bless his heart, old Fezziwig. My master, alive again, and hosting one of his Christmas parties. Oh!
Time for a dance. Pick your partners.
Listen to him.
Corkscrew, thread the needle and back to your places. The counting's over and fun abounds for the evening.
There's Dick Wilkins. Poor Dick. Dear. Yes, and look, there's Mrs. Fezziwig herself, looking younger than any of them. And the tables, all loaded with roast and cider and mincemeat and beer. What a jolly time we used to have.
That carefree young man with the light heart and the gay smile.
Yes.
Do you recognize him?
Yes, merciful heavens. How happy I was then.
You've all worked hard, lads. And now it's time to mingle in merry cheer. I hope you've come hungry.
A small matter for old Fezziwig to make those silly folks so full of joy.
Small matter? Small indeed.
Isn't it? He has spent only a few pounds of your mortal money. Is that so much that he deserves praise?
No, it's not that. It's not that, Spirit. Old Fezziwig has the power to make us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or heavy. His power lies in words and looks and in things so tiny it's impossible to count them up. The happiness he gives us is quite as great as if it cost a...
What is the matter?
Oh, nothing at all, Spirit.
Something, I think.
No.
Speak.
Well, only it's just I should like to be able to say a word to my clerk, to Bob Cratchit. That's all.
My time grows short, and we have yet another journey to make.
Where now?
Come. This is our last visit to the past, Ebenezer. Here, in this little room with a fair young girl by your side. Do you recognize yourself, Ebenezer?
Oh, no, spare me this.
You're older now, a man in the prime of your life. Your face has begun to wear the signs of care and avarice. Your eyes are greedy, the eager, restless eyes of a miser.
No, please.
She knows it too, that girl by her side. There are tears in her eyes.
It matters little to you, very little. I know that.
Belle, have I changed toward you?
When we were engaged, we were both poor.
Was it better then? Better to be poor?
Better at least to be happy. You changed. You were another man then.
I was a boy. You blame me because I've grown wiser? Have I ever tried to break our engagement?
In words, no, never.
In what then? What has changed? Other than this fortune I've amassed and that I've been able to provide for us both, I've become a master of business and influence. Mine's a life of increased value in coin.
In a changed nature, in an altered spirit, in everything that made my love of any value in your sight, Yours is an allegiance to your coin. And so I release you from your promise.
Belle!
Oh, at first it may cause you pain to lose me, a very brief pain, but soon it will be dim like a half-remembered dream, an unprofitable dream, and you will be glad to be awake from such a dream. May you be happy in the life you have chosen, Ebenezer, for the love of whom you once loved.
That's enough. Show me no more. Take me home.
These were the shadows of things that have been, that they are what they are. Do not blame me.
No more.
One shadow more. Come. Oh. Do you see this man, Ebenezer Scrooge? This man might have been you. And that woman beside him? Your wife. And that girl might have been your daughter, Ebenezer Scrooge. She might have called you father. She might have been a springtime and the haggard winter of your life.
Spirit, let me go. Show me no more.
Listen now, while they speak, Ebenezer.
Belle, I saw an old friend of yours today.
Oh, who was it?
Guess.
How can I? I know, Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge it was. I passed his office window. It wasn't shuttered, and there was a candle inside, and I couldn't help seeing him. His partner Marley lies at the point of death, I hear, and there Scrooge sat all alone, quite alone in the world, I do believe.
Spirit, I can't bear any more. Leave me. Haunt me no more. Take me back. Take me back.
The King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about.
On the stroke of one, Scrooge awakened suddenly and sat bolt upright in his own bed. He remembered the words of Marley's ghost and wondered from which direction the second specter would appear. At that moment, nothing between a baby and a rhinoceros would have astonished him very much. Now being prepared for almost anything, he was not by any means prepared for nothing. And consequently, when no shape appeared, he was taken with a violent fit of trembling. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a quarter of an hour went by, yet nothing came. Then, as he sat on his bed, he became aware gradually of a great blaze of ruddy light, which seemed to shine upon him from the adjoining room. He got up softly and shuffled in his slippers to the door. It was his own sitting room, no doubt about that. But it had undergone a surprising transformation. The walls and ceilings were so hung with living green that it looked like a perfect grove, from every part of which bright gleaming berries glistened, and such a mighty blaze went roaring up the chimney, as had never been known in Scrooge's time or for many, many a winter season gone. Heaped up on the floor to form some kind of throne were turkeys, geese, game, poultries, great joints of meat, long wreaths of sausages, mince pies, plum puddings, barrels of oysters, red-hot chestnuts, and seething bowls of punch that made the chamber dim with their delicious steam. In easy state upon this couch there sat a jolly giant, glorious to see, who bore a glowing torch in shape not unlike Plenty's horn, and held it up, high up, to shed its light on Scrooge as he came peeping round the door.
Come in, Ebenezer Scrooge, and know me better, man.
Who?
I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me. You've never seen the likes of me before.
You're different from the other spirit. You're tall, almost a giant, and that great torch you carry.
It's a light that pours onto the homes of rich and poor alike.
Where have you brought me, Spirit?
A humble dwelling in a humble street.
It's humble enough.
Yet, there is happiness there.
Who are these people? Who's that woman and the children?
I love being Cratchits. It's a wonderful time of year.
These are the family of your clerk, Bob Cratchit. His wife, dressed in a twice-turned
the
gown.
figgy pudding.
But brave. Brave in ribbons, lying the table of their Christmas dinner. And there, assisting her, is her daughter Belinda. And the young man with the fork in the stuffing, that's Master
Good
Peter
stuffing. Could use
Cratchit.
some salt, though. Wonderful.
And the two little Cratchits. Listen, Scrooge.
Oh, man. Ooh, I can't wait to watch this. Wonderful feast before us. I love our family.
Why, bless your heart, Martha, my dear. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Mother.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas,
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yay.
How
We're having such a good time.
How late you are, my dear.
Oh, well, we had a deal of work to finish up last night, and we had to clear away this morning.
Well, never mind so long as you're here now. Sit ye down before the fire and have a warm. Lord bless ye.
Where's Father?
He's been to church with Tiny Tim. They'll be along directly.
How is Tiny Tim, Mother? Any better at all?
Sometimes I think he is. And sometimes I think, oh dear God, if anything should happen to Tiny Tim.
Mother, you mustn't even think of such a thing.
There's Tiny Tim.
Oh, Merry Christmas, everybody. Martha, welcome, my dear.
Merry Christmas, Father and Tim.
Merry Christmas, Martha.
Oh, you darling boy, Tim. Oh, Father, I'm so glad to be home.
We're so glad to have you, Martha.
And how did Tim behave in church, Bob?
Oh, as good as gold and better.
I like church, Mother. They sang the nicest songs, and I hope people saw me there.
Saw you there. And why, Tim?
Well, don't you see? Because I'm lame. And if they saw my crutch, it might be pleasant for them to remember on Christmas who it was who made lame beggars walk and blind men see.
Oh, bless you, my son, bless you.
Yes, children, we're all ready. Come take your places now. And Bob, wait your turn. There's plenty. Stuffing, dressing, and plum pudding for all of you. Martha, you take care of Tiny Tim.
Yes, Mother.
You see that he eats plenty. He must get big, tall, and well. Now sit down, everyone.
Now, my dear, shall we say grace?
Spirit, tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved.
No, kind Spirit, no. Say he'll be spared. Say he'll live.
If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, Ebenezer, the child will die.
Amen. And now, my dears, with such a dinner, a toast. A Merry Christmas to us all, and God bless us.
Amen.
God bless us, everyone.
And now I give a toast to Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed, who pays you all of 15 shillings a week. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast on, and I'd hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
Oh, my dear, the children, Christmas Day.
Well, it should be Christmas Day, I'm sure, on which one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Bob. Nobody knows it better than you. Poor fellow.
But, my dear, Christmas Day.
I'll drink his health for your sake and the day's, but not for his. Long life to him. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
And I say God bless him too, Mother, and everyone.
There was nothing of high mark in all of this. They were not a handsome family, these Cratchits. They were not well dressed. Their shoes were far from being waterproof. Their clothes were scanty and had known very likely the insides of a pawnbroker's. But they were happy, grateful and pleased with one another and contented with the time. When at last they faded, Scrooge had his eye upon them, and especially on Tiny Tim, until the last. Many calls Scrooge made that night with the ghost of Christmas present. Down among the miners they went, who labor in the bowels of the earth, and out to sea among the sailors at their watch, dark ghostly figures in their several stations. Much they saw, and far they went, and many places they visited, but always with a happy end. The spirits stood beside sick beds, and they were cheerful on foreign lands. They were close at home, by poverty, and it was rich. In almshouse, hospital, and jail, where vain man, and his little brief authority had not made fast the door and barred the spirit out. The spirit left his blessing. It was a long night, if it was only a night. And it was strange, too, that while Scrooge remained unaltered in his outward form, the ghost grew older, clearly older.
My life upon this globe very brief, Ebenezer. It ends tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight, at midnight. Hark! The hour has come.
Oh, no, not yet. There's still more things I wish to learn.
There you will learn from still another spirit, Ebenezer.
Scrooge looked about him for the ghost. It had vanished, and he found himself once more in his bed, in his dressing gown and his nightcap on his head. He heard the clock strike, and then he remembered the prediction of old Jacob Marley, and lifting up his eyes, beheld the third spirit. The solemn phantom, shrouded in black, draped and hooded, coming towards him, slowly and silently, like a mist upon the ground.
I know you. You are the ghost of Christmas yet to come. You'll show me the shadows of things that have not happened, but will happen in the time before us. Answer me, spirit, ghost of the future. I fear you more than any specter I've seen. Yet, I know your response is to do me good. That's your purpose, as I hope to live to be another man from what I was. Lead on. Lead on. The night's waning fast and time is precious. Spirit, why have you brought me here again? Here to Bob Cratchit's home. But it's not the same. Why is it so quiet? So very quiet here.
Mother, please.
Oh, my son. My little son. Tiny Tim. I loved him so.
Mother, dear, you mustn't. It's almost time for Father to be home. Don't let him see you crying.
Yes. Yes, Mother, you're right.
He's late tonight.
He walks slower than he used to. And yet I've known him to walk very fast indeed with Tiny Tim on his shoulder.
So have I, Mother.
But he was light to carry, and his father loved him so that it was no trouble. No trouble at all. Bob.
Good evening, my dear.
You're late, Bob.
Yes, I'm sorry, my dear. I went to the churchyard today. I wish you could have gone with me. It would have done your heart good to see how sweet and green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him. Yes, I promised Tiny Tim we'd walk there on a Sunday.
Father, dear.
Oh, I'm trying to understand it, my dear. Oh, my son, my little son, Tiny Tim. I loved him so.
Oh, that's cruel. Cruel. Spirit, can't you give me one ray of hope that I may change all that? That Tiny Tim may live? Where are you taking me now? Here on a common street, Spirit? What is there for me to learn here? Who are these men?
I don't know much about it. Either way, I know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
It's likely to be a very cheap funeral, for upon my life, I don't know anybody to go to it. Suppose we make up a party and volunteer?
Well, I don't mind going if a lunch is provided.
Come to think of it, I bet I was his best friend.
What?
Yeah, we used to nod to each other when we met in the street.
Why, I bet that old fossil held on to every shilling he ever earned.
And I pitied the fool who'd take you up on that bet.
Spirit, help me. Who is this man that died? Is there no one to mourn the poor creature? No one to follow him to his grave? Spirit, where are we now? Merciful heavens, a churchyard, overrun by grass and weeds, choked with too much burying, desolate, lonely, crumbling gravestones. Spirit, before I draw nearer to that gravestone, answer me one question. Are these shadows of things that will be, or are there shadows that things that may be only? Huh? Will you not speak to me, Spirit? What is that grave to which you point? I see it now. Yes, there's writing on that stone. The name on the gravestone is Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge. No, Spirit, no. Hear me. I'm not the man I was. Why show me this if I am past all hope? Tell me that I can change these dreadful shadows that you showed me by an altered life. I'll honor Christmas in my heart. I'll try to keep it all the year. I'll live in the past, the present, the future. I'll not shout out the lessons they teach. Tell me, Spirit. Go on, tell me. Tell me that I may sponge away the writing on that stone, Spirit. I beg you, Spirit. I beg you. Spirit, I promise on my knees. I promise. I'll... What's that? It's my own drape. I'm at home. I'm in my own bed, here in my own room. And the sun's shining. It's clear. It's bright. There's no fog. What a beautiful day. Oh, glorious. Hey, boy!
Yes, sir?
What's today?
What's that, sir?
What day is it, my fine fellow?
Today? It's Christmas Day.
Christmas Day! I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. Heaven be praised.
How's that, sir?
Listen, my lad, you know where the Poulters is in the next block?
I should say I do, sir.
Intelligent boy. A remarkable boy. Tell me, do you know if they sold that prize turkey that was hanging in the window?
The one as big as me, sir?
What a delightful boy. It's a pleasure to talk to ye. Yes, my buck.
It's hanging in the window now, sir.
That's wonderful. Go down, will you, and tell him to send it to Bob Cratchit and his family over on Broad Street. And mind you, they're not to know who paid for it. Go along, hurry, my lad. Oh, here, wait a minute. Here's half a crown for your trouble.
Yes, sir, and a Merry Christmas, sir.
And a Merry Christmas to you, my boy. Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather, as happy as an angel, as merry as a schoolboy. Merry Christmas! A Merry Christmas to everybody. A Happy New Year to all the world. Hoo-hoo! My dear sir, how do you do?
I beg your pardon?
Well, you, sir, aren't you the gentleman who came to my office in regard to that charity?
Why, yes, sir.
A Merry Christmas to you.
Yes, sir.
Allow me to beg your pardon, sir. And will you have the goodness to accept? I prefer to whisper this.
What? But Lord bless me! My dear Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
If you please, not 1 farthing less. And a great many back payments are included in it, I assure you. Will you do me that favor?
Well, my dear sir, I don't know what to say to such generous modification.
Oh, now, you don't say anything, please. Come and see me. Will you come and see me?
I will. I will indeed.
Thank you. I am much obliged to you. I thank you 50 times. Bless you and Merry Christmas.
Next morning, Scrooge was early at his office. He went early for a reason. If he could only be there first and catch Bob Cratchit coming late. That was the thing he'd set his heart upon, and he did it. Yes, he did. The clock struck 9. No Bob. 1:15. No Bob. Scrooge sat with his door wide open that he might see him come in. At last he came. His hat was off before he opened the door, his comforter too. He was on his stool in a jiffy, driving away with his pen as if he were trying to overtake 9 o'clock.
30 to 12, 2, 11, and 1, 8, and 9.
Hello, Mr. Cratchit.
Yes, sir.
Step this way, Cratchit, if you please. Cratchit, what do you mean by coming in at this time of day?
Why, I'm very sorry, sir. I'm behind my time.
You are. Yes, I think you are.
Oh, it's only once a year, Mr. Scrooge. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir.
I'll tell you what, my friend. I'll not stand this sort of thing any longer. And therefore, Bob Cratchit, I'm about to raise your salary.
Mr. Scrooge, are you quite yourself, sir?
No. Thank heavens I'm not quite myself. Merry Christmas, Bob. Merry Christmas, my good fellow. A merrier Christmas than I've given you in many a year. I shall raise your salary, and we'll see what we can do for Tiny Tim and the rest of your family. We'll discuss it this very afternoon over a Christmas bowl of smoking bishop. Bob, make up the fire. Make it up and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more, to Tiny Tim, who did not die. He was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good as a man the good old city knew, or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration on him, but he let them laugh. and little heeded them. His own heart laughed. That was quite enough for him. He had no further intercourse with spirits, but lived upon the total abstinence principle ever afterwards. And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that truly be said of us, of all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone.
Great job, Scrooge. Great job. Oh, what a miser. What a miser. Oh, Bob Cratchit. You know, that wasn't his real accent. That's just how good at acting he is. Yay! Oh, my goodness. Who's next? Oh, Danielle played so many parts. Tugging my heartstrings. Oh, the Fist Man. All right, doing double duty. Doing double duty. Woo! Oh, yeah, Marie. Oh, so compelling. So compelling.
Give it up for Marie.
The triple threat. Too scary as it goes. Look at all those roles he played.
Man. I loved it.
I think it was in England. That's what it looked like. Oh, the MVP.
Wow, yeah, the graphics.
Spoiler, he does our graphics. I'll be later on. Oh, Andrew, our right-hand man right here. Oh, yeah.
Woo! Oh, and here comes Cameron. Yeah.
Come on in, the narrator. The creme de la pista de resistance. Look at all these great. No, I didn't make that. That was Shaw. MVP, baby. MVP. Oh, my. Wow. Mark gave us those. Man, is there anything that guy cannot do? I swear to gosh.
My goodness.
Oh, yes, our top-notch engineers.
Hope they're enjoying their vacation.
Oh, yes. Shout out.
Oh, and all these people.
Oh,
too,
yeah, they
and
helped
I
us.
love them.
Mike Wheeler signed off. Everyone helped us prepare. Couldn't have done that with it. We had to do this 10 times before we got it right, Richard.
That's right.
Woo.
And this person.
Oh, you didn't write this?
No, it wasn't an original.
Oh, I thought this was all you. Oh, that's us, Richard.
How about those people?
Oh, just kidding. Oh, yes, and thank you. Thank you for watching. Oh, yeah. We'd be talking to ourselves if it wasn't for you.